Peace and blessings. Welcome back to the channel once again, where we talk all things health and healing from a holistic perspective, and today will be no different. Today we're going to talk about some natural exercises and solutions for your eyesight to improve your eyesight. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking to yourself, improve my eyesight? Well, my eye doctors never told me that that was possible. I've never heard of such a thing. Well, we're gonna debunk a few of those like belief systems that we have around what can be healed and what is can only be treated. And I think it's important to start there because, you know, I always say this, and I say this in previous videos, our belief systems are what keep us where we are. Well, that means it keeps us going up or it keeps us stuck. And so if you believe that something is not capable, then it's not possible. But it's always important to know that the word impossible, if you break it up, the first two letters, I'm, and then the rest of the word is possible, I'm possible. So that's how I look at everything in life, all right? Hugely important. And it's no different when it comes to our eyesight. We've just been stuck in the same model that when we talk about diabetes, when we talk about high blood pressure, when we talk about cancer, we're stuck in that same model when it comes to eye health and even dental care as well too. And so this is why you never see anybody's eyesight ever improve. I mean, for most people, they go into, when they go to check their vision, they go to not their eye doctor, they go to the glasses store. And I'll tell you, when you go into the store where there's glasses, but there just so happen to be a doctor in the back, it's important to know that everything is set up to get you in there and out of there as quickly as possible and to get you as many pairs of glasses as possible. Okay, so just like, going in to see your doctor and you got a sniffle and a sore throat and you're more than likely going to leave with a prescription for antibiotics. Well, if you go talk to a surgeon, you're going to leave possibly with an appointment for a surgery. And if you go talk to an eye doctor in a glasses shop, well, you're more than likely going to leave with a couple of pair of glasses and not any information that actually tells you anything about why your eyesight went bad and what you could do about it. Okay, so I'm going to solve that problem for you here today. If you're one of those people like myself, I always had bad vision. I didn't even know it until I think high school, to be honest with you. I was just so happened to be at basketball practice one day, and I don't know what I did for my coach to ask me this, but my coach asked me, he said, "Price, are you blind?" And I said, "No." And he was like across the court, like pretty far away on the other side of the course. And he said, "How many fingers do I have up?" And in that moment, I was like, I don't know what you got. And it was in that moment that I knew that I couldn't see as well as others could. But you don't know until you compare yourself. And in that moment, he said, you cannot come back to basketball practice until you either get glasses or contacts. And so, of course, I went to the glasses shop that day. And so a lot of people are in the same situation. Like growing up, you don't know that you got bad eyesight until you start getting headaches and until you start reading and you can't read. Okay. But I never had an issue with reading things up close. I always had an issue with reading things that were far. Okay. And so I'm going to give you a few tips. First, to start with, help you understand how we lose our vision. All right. And I think that's important because a lot of people think that it's genetic, it's just happenstake, where it just happened, there's nothing you could do about it. But some of the most common reasons why we lose our vision is low water intake, dehydration. You got to understand, in these eyeballs is water. Okay. Sometimes you see things that are called floaters that are going around. And it's important to know that hydration is very important equation when it comes to your vision. Okay. Now, I don't want to have to belabor that, but it's important to know that our bodies is like 70 to 80% water. Okay, so when we're dehydrated, we're in a state of emergency, or so of course, our vision is going to become blurred. Okay, our eyes are going to become puffy, etc. All right, number two, diet. Diet plays a huge role too, because if you don't have the necessary vitamins, minerals, enzymes, proteins, healthy fats, you're not going to have healthy anything, but you're definitely not going to have healthy vision. Okay. And unfortunately, poor diet definitely contributes to that. We all know that diabetes is one of the leading causes of blindness. Okay. And what is diabetes an issue of? Diabetes is an issue of blood sugar. Okay. And as the blood sugar levels become more and more elevated, you literally can lose your vision to the point that you can't see anything. You can't see a person's face visibly in front of you if your blood sugar gets to a certain level. Okay, so it tells you how unhealthy sugar is. Okay, and I'm not talking about the sugar that is in fruit, I'm talking about the sugar that is added to things. Okay, added sugar. Okay, so diet is a very important part of the conversation as well too. Sleep. Okay, sleep is a very important part of, or a lack of sleep is a part of why we lose our vision as well too. Okay, so sleep plays a huge role. It's not just involved in rejuvenating the body so you can feel energetic when you wake up, but it's also really important for repair. Okay, and when we start to get in a state where we're losing a lot of sleep, we'll notice that our vision starts to get a little bit blurred. Okay, the other thing is too much screen time on too many devices, on laptops, cell phones, computers, watching TV. A lot of that light that is coming from the TV is very unhealthy for you. So too much screen time. I highly recommend, if you have a smartphone and if you could track your screen time, track your screen time. I think a lot of you will be a little surprised to know that you're spending 8 to 10 hours a day looking at a cell phone. Okay. Now keep in mind, you're probably only awake, for 14 of those hours. Okay. If you get a lot of sleep. So if you're only up for 16 hours and you're spending 10 hours of your waking 16 hours looking at a screen with blue light coming from it, that could definitely be an issue. Okay. Other thing is smoking. Smoking could definitely cause you to have some vision issues as well. And the list goes on, but those are the primary culprits that cause us to lose our vision. Okay. Now, I think what's important also to mention is that the fact that most of the things that we do take today are inside, and the most of the time we're spending today is either on a cell phone, on a computer, or looking at something about 2 to 3 feet away. I think the issue with that is when you look at how the eyes work, when the eye is looking at anything that is close, the muscles are going to be contracted. Okay. And so when you're thinking about looking at a cell phone from 8 to 10 hours, that's this far away from your face. Okay. Like a foot and a half away from your face for 10 hours, these muscles in the eye are going to be constantly contracted. Okay. And at some point they will wear out. Okay. In nature, everything is about balance. So I'm going to give you a solution a little bit later to help you with that. But that is a huge part of the problem as well, too, because now we are doing most of our activities today inside of a building, inside of our homes, inside of work. And most of the things we're doing are about 1 to 2 feet away from our face that we're looking at. So our muscles are constantly contracted in our eyes, and that'll eventually cause us to lose our vision. Okay. Another thing, and I mentioned this before, is blue light. And I want to talk about that a little bit because blue light is something that is relatively new in terms of us being exposed to it. And what I mean by that is when you think about cell phones, computers, laptops, the televisions that we're looking at and the blue light that are coming from all of these devices, This is roughly a 30-year experiment. And what I mean by that is, prior to like 1995, like nobody had a cell phone or computer or, definitely didn't have a flat screen 4K TV. So prior to that, we weren't spending our time on devices, okay? Being exposed to blue light. So this is a relatively new experiment. And with that being said, we know that blue light can affect our vision. As a matter of fact, as the blue light passes through our cornea, then through our lens and into the retina, it can damage the retina. And that can lead to a cataract, okay? It can lead to dry eye. It also can lead to headaches and migraines, and it also can lead to the suppression of melatonin, which helps us sleep. And as I mentioned before, melatonin or having sleep issues could also lead to vision issues. Okay, so you can see how all of this is playing a role together. All right, so what I want to do now is jump directly into the solution so you'll have an idea about how you can approach in a natural way reclaiming some of that vision. Okay, now what I will tell you is that I've seen people who do all of these things over the course of 12 weeks, sometimes 6 months, as much as 6 months, but they'll go in to get a new eye exam and then they'll notice even before that, they can no longer wear their glasses anymore because their vision improved. Now, I'll tell you this before you become a little bit skeptical. You may notice that throughout the day, your vision may change and fluctuate depending on whether you are properly hydrated, depending on whether or not you got a good night's sleep, depending on what you ate, depending on how much screen time you got that day. So your vision can fluctuate a little bit, all right? And so it's important to know if your vision can fluctuate, then it means that there's room for change. And if there's room for change, there's room for improvement, all right? So these are the things that are gonna give you, all right? So one of the things that they've noticed when they've looked at a lot of the studies is that when you sleep in absolute darkness, no night light, not a lot of light coming through, the curtains, those type of things. When you're sleeping in absolute darkness, it will help to improve your vision. As a matter of fact, they did a study. And when they did this study, they had about 460 kids, 400 to 500 kids, and they divided them up into 3 groups. One group got a dark room, the next group got a night light, and then the next group of kids slept with the light on. As you know, a lot of kids are afraid of the dark. So that's a sort of common experience because it happens in real life, all right? And what they noticed was with the kids who slept in a dark room, completely dark, only about 10% of them developed nearsightedness, okay? 10% in a completely dark room. In the room with a night light, around about 34% of the kids develop nearsightedness, all right? And then with the kids who slept with the light on, 55% of the kids develop nearsightedness. Okay, so that tells us that we're supposed to sleep in darkness. And if you go back and check out my video where I'm talking about the importance of environment, okay, this is also, very important when it comes into sleep, the importance of the environment, setting the environment. One of the things I mentioned when I was in St. Lucia, at night, it will get completely dark. The only light you could see was the light that came from the moon. That's it. But other than that, it's pretty dark, all right? And that's the beauty of sleeping in that type of darkness because your body sleeps so much better, okay? So hugely important, sleeping in complete darkness. You can even get some of those. I got a nice set somewhere, but I got these eye pads that I put on that are kind of satin soft, and I put those on and they got sort of like a cooling gel in it, and I put those on, especially when I'm on a plane, and it's so soothing to me. I'll go to sleep and wake up and pull the blinders off and it'll be like a whole new world. Okay, so that's something that could definitely help you as well too if you can't change out your curtains or something like that. All right. The other thing that they noticed that helped a lot was putting up an eye chart in your home. or it's also referred to as the Snellen chart that you see at the eye doctor that has the different lines and different letters, okay? Putting that eye chart at home could help, because what you do is you take times throughout the day to kind of look at the eye chart, and you're looking to balance to see what your vision is on different levels. And what you're doing while you're doing that is you're practicing your eyes focusing on different things. You're going from really big to really small, okay? And as I was saying before, it's really important that we use both sides. We can't just use our near vision. We also have to use our far vision as well too. Because when we're using near vision, the muscles are contracted. When we're looking at something very far away, guess what? The muscles relax. Okay, so as we're looking at something big versus something small, the muscles relax and contract. All right, so putting up that Snellen eye chart could be very helpful as well too. You could put that up in your bathroom and check it out a couple of times a week, or you could put that up in your office, wherever suits you. Okay, but it's like training for the eyes. All right, the next thing, number 3, is when you're using your devices and you know that you have to use it for an extended period of time, you can get these babies, and they're called blue blockers, okay? All right, shout out to my boy KT, the Arts Degree, who gifted me these. But you can get a pair of blue blockers, and they block blue light, especially when you're on a device, okay? And you know that you're gonna be on the device for a long time and long periods. Getting a pair of blue blockers to block that light. And what you'll notice is your eyes will start to relax. You'll notice that, because it's almost like your eyes are being flooded with so much light that it can't take it. And then as soon as you put the blue blockers on, it blocks some of that light, and it allows your eyes to relax. Okay, because when your eyes are constantly contracted, that's also what leads to the headaches and the migraines. Okay, so if you know that you're going to be using a lot of screen time, you can get yourself a pair of blue blockers. That'll be helpful for you. Okay, now this other one, this was really important. Going outside to look at things that are far away for about 5 to 10 minutes without any sunglasses, even if there's some cloud cover, both in the morning and in the evening. Okay, now if you can get more time in, better. But when you go outside, let's say you live somewhere where, off in the distance, there's a building. Okay, well, what you want to do is go outside in the sun in the morning, okay, even if it's cloudy, and then just focus your vision on something far away. Okay, now, as I told you before, when we look at things that are close up to us, our eye muscles are going to contract. When we look at things that are far away, and I mean really far away, like a mile or two away, looking at something far away, it causes the eyes to relax, okay? And I'll tell you an exercise that's going to help with that in just a second. But going outside to look at things in the sunlight and then in the evening is very important, because in the morning, when that sun hits the back of the retina, it's going to trigger the body to release melatonin about 12 hours later. Okay, that'll trigger you to go to sleep. Okay, like I said, sleep is very important to your eye health and your well-being in general. Okay, but getting that light that now is dimmer in the evening is also going to help that as well too. Okay, it's going to trigger the body to say, oh, the sun is going down. Okay, there's a lot of very intuitive and intrinsic things that our bodies recognize that we're not aware of, and that's one of them. Okay, the other thing you could do, and I think this is really important, is change your diet. You gotta change your diet. It's an uphill battle, because if you're going to eat the standard American diet and hope to keep your vision, that is impossible. Because the standard American diet is built to break your body down. Okay, it's built to make you hypertensive. It's built to make you diabetic. It is built to make you obese, and it's built to make you sick and depressed. Okay, so eating and drinking poison every day, that is impossible. So you gotta shift your diet. One of the most unhealthy things for the body, and especially for the eyes, is sugar. Okay, added sugar. Like I said, for diabetics, diabetes is one of the number one causes of blindness. Okay, and diabetes is elevated blood sugar. Okay, so it's hugely important. But not only sugar, but also salt, also a lot of fat in the diet, and also parasites as well too. Okay, but all of these things go back to the diet and the lifestyle. Okay, so you got to shift that. If you haven't read my book, Vegucation Over Medication, which is a bestseller, go check that out on my website, drbobbyprice.com. It is a bestseller. Okay, so check that out. It tells you line for line what to eat and why not to eat things. And I even give you an entire food list to follow and a few other things and tips in the back of the book as well too. All right. This other thing that is really important are eye exercises. Okay. I promise you eye exercises. So I'm going to give you a few eye exercises that you could do that could really help your vision. Now, this is the important thing. All the other things are very important. Decreasing your amount of screen time, going outside instead of spending all the time in day, looking at things far away, but in unison with looking at things close. Having a healthy diet, all those type of things are very important. So eye exercises alone will not do it. All right. I want to make that very, very clear. But one exercise that you can do, you could take your index fingers, fold them in, use the knuckles of your index fingers, start here at your third eye, and go across your eyebrows, good to your temples, and massage. You don't have to do it hard, about 10 times. You're gonna notice this will even help with a headache, okay? And after you do that, do it again. Start at the middle, go across the eyebrows, get to the temples about 10 times. Okay? After you do that about 5 to 10 times, now you want to start here under the eyes. Okay? Start under the eyes at the bridge of the nose. Go under, go up to your temples, massage. Same thing. This time go in the opposite direction. Okay? Now what that's doing is getting blood flow to go in the eye area. So you're getting blood flow to go in this area. You're also stimulating certain pressure points around the eye as well too. So doing that exercise will be very, very helpful as well too. So you want to do it over on the eyebrows, massaging the temples 5 to 10 times. And just take your time. And then you want to go under. Again, getting blood flow to the area. Actually feels good. All right, cool. So you do that a couple of times, get blood flow stimulating to the area. Blood flow is important because blood flow equals oxygenation. It also equals nutrients. It also equals immunity as well too. You need nutrients, you need oxygen, you need immunity at every part of the body, okay? There could be a parasite there. You get blood flow going there, now you got the immune system there. You got nutrients there to help fight. So it's really important to understand that certain areas of the body don't get as much perfusion or blood flow as they need. So this is one of the ways that you can stimulate blood flow. The other thing is eye exercises. And what I do is I do eye circles. All right, so I look up and then to the right or clockwise, and then I go look to the right, counterclockwise. So up, clockwise, up, counterclockwise. Now what I recommend is do 5 to 10 of those clockwise and then 5 to 10 of those counterclockwise. Okay? Don't do it fast. Okay? When you do it, you want to look up. okay? And you're gonna notice that it feels funny, like you wanna do something with your mouth or your head or whatever it may be. But it's just something your body has to get used to. Same thing, look up, opposite direction. All right, and what you're gonna notice is that you're using muscles you do not use. Okay? You're using muscles that you do not use, which is really important. Every muscle in the body has the same concept behind it. If you don't use it, you lose it. So what we're doing is we're getting back in the gym with our eyes. Okay? So that's another one that you can do. Another eye exercise that you could do is what's called figure eight. So find a point either on a wall or on the carpet at least 10 feet away. And what you want to do is draw a figure eight with your eyes. So all right, so figure eight with your eyes. And again, I do it and I don't know why it makes your face do all this weird stuff. But again, it's very helpful for the eyes. And then the last thing that you could do is what's called 20-20-20. All right. All right. 20 is you want like, so when you're sitting down, 20 near. So maybe you do 20 seconds of something, looking at something near. 20 seconds at looking at something far, maybe across the room. So just looking at it. All right. And then the next 20 is just because it's 20 seconds. All right. So 20-20-20. That could be very helpful for you. Doing those exercises, 2 to 3 times a day. It's not like you got to go to the gym and get a sweat in. Just doing those exercises 2 to 3 times a day. And then the last solution or tip that I have for you is you can actually get a vision course or hire a vision coach. They do actually exist. And a vision coach, you would probably work with them for about an hour a day or a week, depending on your schedule. And then with a vision course, it will be something that you would do for like 15 to 30 minutes. Okay. That's something that you could look up for yourself. I don't have one. I'm just suggesting it to you. I always say Michael Jordan never won a championship until he got Phil Jackson. Everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs a coach. So if you feel like the exercises and the things that I mentioned aren't enough on your own, then you can always get a course or a coach. Okay. So I hope you have enjoyed today's content. Do this for at least 3 months, 12 weeks. And then I want you to check your vision. So get you one of those Snellen charts, those eye charts, put it in your home. Start doing the exercises, doing all the other things that I told you, wearing the blue blockers when you're going to be on a lot of screen time throughout the day with your cell phone, computers and laptops and tablets, etc. Changing your diet up, making sure you get enough sleep, sleeping in absolute darkness or getting those eye blockers on. Do that for about 12 weeks. And then I want you to go look at that Snellen chart, that eye chart, and see how your vision has improved. And once it does, come back here and let me know in the comments, okay? As always, I want to thank you for supporting my community. Thank you for being a part of the community. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification up top so you'll always get an announcement whenever I have cool videos like this come out. And make sure you share this with somebody. There's a lot of people out there who are looking for natural solutions for real problems, and they don't have somebody to guide them along the journey. So I love to be a part of that guidance, okay? So until the next time, peace and blessings and Godspeed.